Hello everyone and welcome to Luminar Coffee Break. I'm Angela Andrieux and today we're going to be talking about how to create a moody, weathered look for your photograph. Let me go ahead and share my screen and we'll get started. The photo I have up on the screen is one from my archives. I captured it in Ragusa, Sicily back about 10, 11 years ago. And it's a really beautiful shot. I loved all the gorgeous colorful flowers along the balcony and all of the lines and the shapes and the weathered tones of the building. Let me show you what it looked like in the before image. So here is what it looked like before I did any edits. And you can see it has a lot of really great texture and detail in there, but it was kind of muted and hidden. I worked a lot with the contrast to bring it to here, and I feel like it really tells the story of the time and the place and brings out all of those fabulous details that are all over those very old buildings all over Europe. So what I did was I started with this image. Let me go ahead and reset the adjustments here. I'll go to Adjustments and revert to Original. I just want to take a quick moment and say hello, everyone. Good afternoon, Wolfgang, Maurizio, Julia, Jerry, Russ, JGmail28, Tom, Pat. So glad all of you are able to join us today. All right, so we've got our image up on the screen. Let's go ahead and I'm going to skip over our template today and go straight to the Edit tab. So let's let that load up. And I'll scroll up to the top and we'll get started with Enhance AI. So AI Accent is a great all-around tool for improving contrast, color, texture, detail, all of those things all with one slider. So you can see as I bring that up, that alone makes a really big difference in bringing out some of that contrast. So if we turn that off and back on again, big difference with one slider. Now to really get that moody and weathered look, the two tools that are going to make the biggest difference are going to be Structure AI. And then if we scroll down here to Dramatic, those are the ones that are going to make a huge difference. I'll start with Structure AI and pull that up quite a bit to the right, and you'll see that's bringing out all of those details on the building, all of the marks from where there's been water damage and maybe some pock marks from, just various things, all of those neat little textures on the side of the building. Now, the next thing I want to do is go to Dramatic. And Dramatic has a really cool way of desaturating and adding detail at the same time. So I'm going to pull that up quite a bit to the right, and you'll see that we're losing a bit of color as we do that. Now, if you feel like it lost too much color and it got a little too bright, we can go down here into the brightness and saturation, and we can pull down the brightness and bring back some of those tones, and we can also bring back some of that color if we want to. So I'm going to go ahead and bring that back up, bring that brightness back down a little bit more. And now we've gotten a lot closer to that moody and weathered look. So let's see where we've come so far. There's the before and then the after. Now the next tool I want to use is Super Contrast. And this is going to let me target those highlight, midtone, and shadow areas of contrast. In looking at this right now, I feel like the highlights are a little bit too bright, and I want to bring out a little bit more detail in those areas. So I'm going to bring up that highlights contrast, and you'll see just in moving that slider, these highlight areas are getting a little bit more detail. We can further enhance that by bringing up that balance and even bringing back more detail in those highlight areas. Now this isn't going to bring, if your image has blown out areas, meaning you've lost detail in those highlights, it's not going to bring back detail that's not there. But if there's some detail there, this can really help accentuate it. I would also bring up my midtones contrast a bit, and we can play with that balance and see what makes that look better there. I think moving that balance over there to the right, that's some really beautiful contrast right there. So let's take a look here at the before and then the after and see what we've done here with Super Contrast. There's the before and the after. It's amazing what we can do. All we did was touch highlights contrast and midtones contrast, and it made a huge difference. Really, really pretty. Now the final touch I want to make to this photo is to go back up here to my essentials category at the bottom, and we'll add a nice subtle soft vignette. And this is just going to draw our eyes in, and it's going to make all of the details here in the middle a little bit more pronounced and fade off the edges just a little bit. So take the amount slider, drag that all the way down to -100. I'm going to make that size a little bit smaller, drag that a little bit to the left. Definitely go into your advanced settings here and bring that feather up really high. And what this does is create a really smooth transition from the dark areas to the light areas. And I might also add a little bit of inner light just for good measure. And now we can go back to that amount slider and pull that back up to the point that we think it looks good. I never, ever, ever leave it at -100. but I pull it down there in the first part of doing this tool because I really want to see what's being affected. So we can go ahead and adjust that to where that looks good. And I think there looks awesome. Let's take a look at our before and our after. Very, very cool. Now, if you're looking at this and going, okay, it's nice, but maybe it's a little bit over the top, don't forget you can always go down here to the bottom and pull that slider back ever so slightly until you get it to the exact point that you want it. And I think right about it, about 80% looks awesome for this image. Let me take a quick look here at the comments and make sure everybody's questions are being answered. All right, sounds good. Well, if you guys have any questions, make sure you pop those into the comments. I'll do my best to answer them now or even after the show. Vanilla and I, when we do these shows, we do go back and read your comments all the time. And if you guys are liking these shows, make sure you give us a thumbs up here on YouTube. We love seeing that. Our producers love seeing that. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and turn you loose for the rest of the afternoon. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day wherever you are in the world, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everyone. In honor of Women's Day, March 8, 2021, Skylum's Marketplace will feature 4 very talented women who have created signature templates for Luminar AI. Michelle Grenier has designed 12 templates for your sports and action portraits. Nancy DeCampo has designed 10 templates for nature in the city. Kate Fellini designed 12 beautiful tones of the year. And Eliana Lopez has designed 10 templates to enhance natural colors. Check them out in the Skylum Marketplace under Signature Templates.